Alright, it's time to start attacking, and what we're going to do is just set up the attack textures this time around, and then I'll come back with a new section on the particles. Might as well break that up. So we're just going to use our tapped once method inside of our level class, and let's go steal a little bit of code that we've already written, because we might as well. Why not? Let's just take this, and for the most part I think we just need everything deleted from the block, other than just casting our CS character as the particular node that was found. And from here, what we're going to do is just write character attack, and of course we'll get a little error for right now because we have not actually declared that method in our character. So let's go over here to our header file, and I'm going to just write void attack. Right. That'll solve one error while introducing another, but let's make sure that one went away. And that's actually all that we need to do here in the level class. Come back over here to the header, and let's just copy this part right here. Go now to the implementation file, and where should we put this? How about right at the very bottom. Okay, now that method exists, we shouldn't have any problems with the header file. And let's just put a little note in here that says attack. Alright, so we've already got our textures set up for attacking if the character does attack. What we want to do now is just basically run through and check the current direction, among other things, and see which of those attack sequences we should run. And the first thing we'll do is put a big old if statement up at the very top that just says if the leader equals yes, and then our or pipes, or if does attack when not leader equal to yes. And you know what? That is not something we've actually set up yet. So we have set it up in the property list. We just need to go and actually make a bool variable out of that. Let's come up here to the top. Let's put this right down here. Does attack when not the leader, and then we'll set that up with some of our other booleans. So we'll say does attack when not the leader equals. Let's just copy this right here. There we go. And one thing I want to double check is to make sure that that is actually set to yes. And we put that one right there, didn't we? Above all of our attack frames. So okay, that one's set to yes. As long as one of them is, it should be alright. I'm going to fold these up though, so it's a little prettier. Alright, so if you're if that's set to yes, or if you happen to be the leader, you're going to attack. And now what we need to check is if the current direction equals down and use front attack frames equals yes. Okay, that's the first of our conditions. Else, and let's go ahead and just write these, else if current direction equals left, or current direction equals right. And then within here I'm going to test to see if we should use the side attack frames are in store for us. And then I'm going to write else if use I'm sorry. Give you a chance to catch up there. Else if the current direction is up, then we will of course run our or test to see if we should use our back attack frames. Alright, so got kind of 3 major sections here, and then even within that we've got some work to do. And then the other thing that we're going to end up doing down here is later on test to see if we should add particles. Okay, so now let's do these one at a time. First things first, let's grab our character, remove all actions. Just like we were doing if we were to change direction walking, we want to get rid of any existing actions and then replace them with what we got in store. Now, if front attack action equals nil, so it hasn't been set up yet, we will, of course, say self set up front attack frames. Alright. Hopefully we won't need to do that. Hopefully it's already been taken care of for us. And then we'll write character, run action, front attack action. Okay, that's an easy one. One down. Let's go ahead and take this line of code and we will paste it right there. Alright, so if we're going left or right, then we want to test within here. If use side attack frames equals yes. And let's do that right there. And we'll say, well, we can just copy the same thing right here. This time say side attack action. If that happens to be nil, then we'll do self set up side attack frames, and if that and then we'll just write character, run action, side attack action. Okay, now here's the tricky thing. We can do an else statement for this. Okay, so else if use front view frames equals yes, or actually that should be sorry, use front attack frames equals yes. So even if we've left out that option, we can then check for this one right here. And if front attack action equals nil, of course, oh, now we can just copy this. Make sense? Should we put a little note in the code itself? It just says frames are not enabled, but front attack are. We run this. Okay. That takes care of the side view ones, and then come on down here. Let's take our remove all actions again. Paste that there, and we're going to say if use back attack frames equals yes, and then once again, let's see if that happens to equal nil. So if back attack action equals nil, set up back attack frames, and then finally run action will be back attack action. And then yet again, we want to see if we should put in the alternate use front attack frames. So we can now just paste all that right here. So if we've got this, otherwise revert to our front attack frames, else front attack action equals nil, self set up front attack frames, and finally run that action. And you know what? That should do it. So let's give it a shot. I don't sound 100% confident, do I? I don't know why. I feel like I'm leaving something out here. Let me set the scale up, so at least if it is running, we'll get to see it nice and big screen. Okay, so we're gonna run around and boom. All right, that one's working. Go up. Hey, look at that nice little jab there, right? That's running. And okay, so that's a good sign. Let's go test this guy out. Oh, you know what? I might actually have to do a little something for him. Yeah. His attack frames are still, this is why I knew I left something out. His attack frames are still using the knight. So let's go fix that guy. That's kind of fun though. A little mini knight in there. Okay, find our item that is the blob, which is that guy right there. And let's just double check. All right, resting frames, no. The only frames we have activated are the front attack frames. Let's make sure the side attack frames are set to no. Back attack frames are set to no. Okay. So then under the front attack frames, we want these to be blob attack. I actually got thrown off twice by this mistake because I started editing item 2 in the list. So if you noticed a little edit in the video, that's all that was. Okay, so and then front attack atlas file, of course, needs to be the blob. And just so nobody makes that mistake again, let's I'll just put in the blob for any one of these atlas files. All right, now let's give it another test run and see where we're at. And hopefully everything is working. If so, we get to come back and talk about particles, and those are always pretty cool. Dun, dun, dun. Drum roll. So slow. And let's go get him. There it is. So he just licks his chops when it's his turn to attack. But that's where something like a particle sequence could come in. Do a little magic happening there. All right. Yeah, folks, we're done with making this guy attack, I think. At least for now. So I'm just going to sit here and play with him a little bit. And I'll stop the video, though.